Now, there's something that Kenyans are talking about at the moment. Now, very rare do we hear people talking about mortgage, and there's a reason why mortgage is not popular in the country. Now, there's a lady by the name Azziad. I think you know her. She used to entertain Kenyans for many years. She was a radio presenter, actress, and also brand ambassador. She used to make a lot of money. But due to lack of financial management, due to lack of financial planning, now her house in Kileleshwa is being auctioned. Now, this is, if you follow the story of this lady, she had a very good foundation, but along the way, things started falling apart. And right now, you hear stories, several people accusing her of taking money from them without returning it, borrowing without returning. And now is the issue of auctioneers. This is actually lacking financial management skills. In Kenya, the reason why mortgage is not popular is because people are not assured of their jobs. Today, you have a job, the next day, you are fired. And once you are fired, to get another job is very difficult. This one is different from first world countries like USA. In USA, if you lose your job today, tomorrow you can get another job and you'll continue paying the mortgage. That's why mortgage in USA is very popular. Almost everyone who has got a job follows this route. Now, nobody was there to guide Azziad. Maybe she had someone, maybe a boyfriend, who told her, I'm going to pay even if things go south. And things to do with the relationships, you cannot predict. Today, you love each other. Today, everything goes according to plan. But something happens on the way and you go separate ways. So that person who promised to pay will stop paying and they will put you in a mess. I think this is what happened to Azziad. And you can even see the popularity, the fame she used to have is nowhere because other women are coming who are more attractive, who are younger. She's now turning 25, or she has turned 25. In Kenya, the interest rate for mortgage is normally 14% to 18%. And only 30,000 people out of 60 million are actively paying mortgage. And in order to survive, in order to pay the mortgage up to the end, you must have a stable job. And by that I mean a government job which is permanent and pensionable, where you know that I'll work for 30 years and during this period I'll be able to pay the mortgage and complete. But if you have a job as a radio presenter, as a TV news anchor, as a bank employee, as an insurance employee, or you work for a private company or NGO, taking a mortgage is the worst decision you'll make. Because the NGO will give you a contract for just 3 years or 6 years. And from there, you don't know whether they will renew. A bank might decide to restructure, to fire some employees. And once they do that, you might be one of them. And as you know, when you turn 40, from 40 onwards, when you are working for these companies, most of these private companies, banks, insurance, NGOs, manufacturing, you are the target because you earn a lot of money and you are now slower and you are aging, so you are the target for retrenchment. So even I've seen banks doing that. So once you reach 40, out. They employ younger people who are paid even a quarter of what you are paying. You are being paid at the moment. So in short, Azziad did not have the best financial advisor. She did not know how to manage her finances. That's a fact. And she doesn't understand anything about mortgage. Now, with her job, instead of taking a mortgage, the best thing she could have done is to go and buy land. Maybe she has paid 2 million or 3 million. She could go to Ruiru and buy land. Right now, she could be owning land. Or take the money to crypto, money market fund, even fixed deposit account, even in a circle. And now she could be earning interest or dividends. In our 20s, we have made mistakes. And most people make mistakes in their 20s. And some of the mistakes they make come to haunt them for the rest of their lives or for decades. So that's why in your 20s, something like a mortgage or any debt, a loan, is something you should avoid in your 20s if you don't have a stable job. Because loans, mostly if you look at these banks, if you look at these loan facilities, they target people who are very young and naive. And they tell you interest per month is 3%. So when you calculate that per year, the interest will be around 36%. So Azziad was given a mortgage, interest was, let's say, 15%. Now, if the house was costing maybe 15 million, he was going to pay more than 15 years. And this is someone who does not have a stable job. Now, that is miscalculation. And you cannot bank on your boyfriend to pay your mortgage. So this is something that the youth, people are aged below 30, even below 40, should be taught about. Mortgage is not something to rush to. Even MPs, they don't take mortgages. They're given grants. They're given a loan with interest free or very small interest, which they can pay within 5 years. Not more than 5 years, within 5 years. So if they're earning 1.2 million and the loan is 30 million, what the house they're going to get, then they are able to pay within 4 years. That's why it is easier for them to take that loan. Interest is low, and also they have enough money. And now you are being paid 150,000, your boyfriend is also rich, promising to top up and pay for your mortgage. You are not guaranteed of your future, and you are going to take a mortgage just because you want to live in Kileleshwa. But the good side is that we learn from mistakes. Once you make that mistake, you lose your money. Next time you become more cautious. Even me, I've made mistakes. Someone has borrowed money from me, a lot. They promise to pay, it disappears. You're told, if someone tells you, I've won a tender somewhere, add me 500,000 and I'll return in 2 weeks with interest of 200,000 shillings. After 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, you never hear from them. These are some of the mistakes that we make, which help us learn and know how to deal with people. So it's a lesson to other Kenyans, especially who are planning to take mortgages. Don't take a mortgage if you don't have a stable job. In fact, you can only take a mortgage if your business is very stable and it's growing rapidly, or you have a permanent and pensionable job. That is the only way you can take it. And you have to learn how to manage your finances in your 20s.